Good afternoon. Welcome in, everyone. This is not questions on how the way I approach the market. What do I look for, right? Whenever I'm trading gold, whenever I'm trading GBP, JPY, what do I look for before I get in on a trade, right? So I so much love to, keep my trading very simple. I keep my trading really very simple. I don't trade SMC or any other thing. I trade support and resistances. So today I'm going to be talking about how do I trade based on support and resistances. All right. So I'm going to make this video as quick as possible. So what I do is what I call top to down analysis. All right. So let's say in the market right now, London section, and I'm looking to trade gold, the first thing I do is to go down to the daily time frame. All right. I will use the daily time frame to understand the overall trend of the market for that day, right? So for an example, we are bullish today. We are bullish today, and the candles yesterday also closed bullish. That means the yesterday candles also closed bullish. If we're closing bullish from yesterday, what are we expecting the candle today to do? All right. We need this candle to do some certain things, which I'm going to be talking about in this video, for we to identify that, okay, we will also continue bullish today. All right. So identifying this right now, we've seen that the current daily candle, which is a Thursday candle, is currently bullish. So basically, I'll just pay attention to that. I will move down to the 4 hours time frame. Now on the 4 hours time frame, I will see the overall immediate trend. I cannot wait for the entire day for the candles to close before taking a trade. So what do? I would go down to the lower time frames to identify that. All right. So looking on the 4 hours, we're still very bullish. We are bullish on the 4 hours time frame. We'll just keep that at the back of our mind, and we'll go down to the 1 hour time frame. Now on this 1 hour time frame, this is where I would start to look for what my bias is going to be for that day. All right. I will now say, okay, now looking on this current market price, we have created a support right at this point. This is the most recent resistance that we've created. All right. So these are the things that I pay attention to. I will mark out my support and resistances. Now, the daily time frame has given me an idea that, look, we are bullish. All right. We are bullish. Now, what am I going to do? I will go down to the lower time frame, to the 1 hour or 30 minutes time frame, and identify how can I join this trend. If I'm looking at sales at that point, it is me going against the trend of the market, right? So right now I am looking for what? Buys. But I cannot just, come here and I'll jump into buys right now because the daily or the 4 hours is bullish. No, I will now use the support and resistances to identify where likely are we to reject, where likely are we to move up to next. All right. Now that I've identified based on the 1 hour time frame, okay, this is the most recent support we've created. This is the most recent what resistance that we've created. I will now use this. I will even go lower to the 30 minutes time frame to see, okay, how can I join this buys? All right. So for example, let's say this candle here has not closed. All right. Let's say this candle that we have here. Let me try to bring something up here. Let's say this current bullish candle here has not closed yet. All right. Now, what is going to be my idea? My idea is, okay, since this is our most recent resistance that we've created, and I'm looking for buys because my bias is buys. All right. I'm looking for buys. What do? At that point, I will wait for a single candle, right? A single candle that could close above this resistance. The moment I get a candle closing above this resistance here, at that point, it is giving me an idea that, okay, look, that we are about to continue pushing to the upside, right? For example, see how this candle close. This candle here closed bullish above this resistance. All right. Now I would look at my left hand side and see if this candle is closing above, do we have a very clean move to the upside? I will now move to the left hand side, all right, because I am very, very concerned about, do I have a very clean candles to the left? Now looking at this area, I'll say that okay, we'll have a rejection right here. I'm going to point this out. This is a rejection right here, all right? Now you see that if a candle is now closing above this current resistance here, the next area of rejection is where this candle has tapped into, all right? It's always going on there now. This is now what I am going to consider to say, okay, do I want to buy it from this distance, from this resistance to the next area of rejection, having to now wait again for, let's see how the candles are hand side here, which is the next area of rejection as we're looking to the left hand side. Now I will tell myself, maybe I shouldn't buy gold here, all right? I will wait to see how the candles are going to react in this particular zone, because the distance from this current resistance and the next resistance that we'll have to the left, to this left hand side here, is just very small, right? These are the things I will pay attention to. It is not very, very small, all right? So I will tell myself, how about I wait, all right, for a candle to now give me a new confirmation that, okay, if we're leaving above this current, this resistance, that we don't know how these candles are going to react here unless a candle closes. If we're closing above this area now where am I looking for? I will now move again to the left hand side. That's okay. There is a clean range even up to this point here, right? Now this is the area that, okay, I'll be looking for gold, that if eventually we are able to close above this area, we don't have any disturbed volume, we are now assured that, okay, we are likely to hit that area there. So what do I look for at that point? Simple. I will wait and see a candle that will break and close again above this area here. All right. Now, when I get a candle closing above this area, I can now take a buy, hoping, all right, that we tap into the next area of rejection. Is that clear? Very plain and simple. All right. Now, for an example, let's say that we did not continue pushing to the upside, and now we have rejections. All right. This is the most recent support that we've created based on the 30 minutes time frame, right? Now, if I'm looking for sales in this market, what do I do? Where does it make sense to sell? All right. Now, this is the most recent what support. If a candle, the way I look at my strategy, if a candle is closing below support, that means that we are likely to do what? To push down to the next area of support. Right? For example, this is the most recent support that we have here. If we break and close below here, where is the next area that we're looking at? We'll have this one here. All right, we'll have this one here. But now I will tell myself, do I want to sell good from this support to this support? I will say no, because my range is now very, very small. All right, I will say, okay, since the range between this support and this support is actually very I get a candle, any candle closing below this area, all right, I could now use that as a confirmation that, okay, since we have clean candles to the left hand side, we can easily push down in this range. Now, if I'm measuring these two ranges here, the range between here and here is about 70 pips. Now, why the range between this area and this other range here is about 170 pips. So if you are trading at that point, which of these ranges are you interested in trading? This one or this one? Obviously, the second range, right? Because in this range here, you could easily get rejected. You could easily get reversals because the range is way too small, right? But looking at this other range here, you could actually get easy 50, 60, 70 pips out of the 170 pips. And at that point, you are comfortable, right? Do not try. I do not try. I do not try to find a trade in a range that doesn't make any sense to me. It's very plain and simple. All right. I don't trade SMCs. I don't trade whatsoever everything it is. I focus on supports and resistances, and I use that as a confirmation for my trade. Right. Basically, I wait for candles to close or to break and close above or to also break and close below for me to have a confirmation in the direction that we are supposed to be trading at that point. So I keep my trading simple. I manage my risk basically because risk management is one of the things that could easily keep you in the market. All right. If you don't manage your risk, especially for the market conditions right now, you are going to really struggle very, very hard. All right. So keep it simple. All right. Keep it very simple. Understand candlesticks. Understand how do candles move. All right. What should a candle do? I think I'll talk about that in the next episode. What I look forward to a candle doing, all right, for me to know that okay, it is going to be moving in a certain direction. All right. For now, this is how I trade every single day. If you go through my videos, you see that this is what I do every single day in trading. All right, I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to for this knowledge. I'll see